Good morning.
Again.
We've got something on the line.
We do. Hi, good morning.
And Tommy.
Good morning. I sure did expect to be in the office today, but I think I can adapt.
There's nobody here. There's like 4 people.
That's very different from nobody. Hello, Jordan. Hi, Tommy.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jess.
Hi.
So Andrew was unexpectedly waylaid. He has surprised. Okay, that was the door, right?
No.
Nope.
That was a human.
I have a trumpet in my pocket.
That's just a new sound. That's just a new sound you make, huh?
What happened to Andrew? He was waylaid by?
Andrew was waylaid by Andrew had a surprise meeting. So this lovely occasion, today's community sing call to us to run together as a team. And I say that because he gave it to me to run. But I am remote, and I think historically we have found that the internet connection here is not what it used to be. Give me just a moment here. Okay.
Do we already have folks lined up to share?
Do we have people lined up to talk? Oh, I mean, come one, come all, if you want to. But we have generally a pretty typical agenda for these things. I don't know. Did we talk in the chat room about stuff?
Yeah, I was going to update. I have some doc updates to
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
There's always that. I just wanted to know if there was any particular things on the agenda. Just a second here.
3.0 release. Maybe
Yeah,
if you want to talk about the environment configuration change. I know we've been at least one person, maybe 2, has already run into that change and not sure how to resolve from that output.
Yeah. So I'm happy to draw up a straw agenda here. Let me just pull this up the way that I did last time. And just give me a moment. So, PWA Community Sync. Today is June 28th, 2019. And it is time for
I can't
us
believe
to...
this year is already like half over. That's insane.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share my desktop, or I guess I'm going to share Chrome.
6-month mark.
Okay. Can you guys see my Chrome? This is where the Scratch agenda is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Release 3.0.0 updates. Thanks, Tommy, for the reminder. So much has been going on. I'm always focused on whatever the next major release is after one we just came out.
Happy to sit down and have a quick meeting today. Is there anything that anyone was working on this week?
Let's talk about some updates to documentation. I know this is a bit last minute, but is there anyone else who has something that they would like the opportunity to do? I know that there are a lot of folks who've done some really cool stuff in the last week. There's been a lot of activity, and unfortunately, I feel like if I name names, then I'm calling them out for not having something to demo yet. So let me just say that everybody on the team, and I won't name any names, has done something I think is worthy of demo. I have shown off in past meetings what I have been working on, which is largely focused on the build system, and the most recent thing to make it into master was the new environment configuration. But we've had a bunch of other cool stuff come down the pike, and I think you can kind of see it all in the new release that we just issued. As always, Mr. Kalkaben populates the release, and there's a great deal of information in here collected from our work over the past couple of months. But there may still be some patch releases coming up based on people's experiences. But I think the big headline for me is that we have started to make huge inroads into Peregrine as a library of React hooks. Now, I don't have anything particularly ready for demo right now, but I think it's worth noticing that there's a huge amount now. Here, I'm going to leave that open and open a new tab. I think it's worth noticing that there is now a huge amount of additional functionality available in the form of React hooks, including some things like use pagination that we're still iterating on. And what you end up with is refactors like this one. What do you guys think? Should I show off the category page refactor, or the one that goes down to hooks, or what do we got?
Sure.
Yeah. So here in root component, all right. You can see that instead of the huge pile of stuff that this category root component used to be, why don't I zoom back in time to a previous iteration of it? That's not what I want. I want to look at the actual file. And I want to go to the actual file, but for some reason, I always forget what the reasonable thing is to do, to just go to the file. Go to the file. Okay. Navigate again to the file. So this is, I'm sorry this is taking so long, guys. GitHub is difficult, and I am difficult as well. Clicking a bunch of links. So you can see here that the class component that category root component used to be had all these jobs. It had to pull in a GraphQL query. It had to use a query component. And it had to do a lot of different things, both data fetching and the displaying of fallback content, and then a direct link to category content. And after the refactor, which has had contribution from all the folks you see here and more, it is a functional component with its state maintained by React hooks and capable of a great deal of just simple combination. One line.
Lose that one?
Oh no. You didn't pay the internet bill.
Okay. Anybody want to pick up on where we left off?
Oh, he's back.
Well, I think I demoed that component before anyway, so we're not missing out on too much.
Sounds like Tommy just volunteered.
All right, folks. Either I by mistake or Blue Jeans crashed, but I am predictably getting the network errors again. So I'm glad I see smiles as it finally comes back. Yeah. Blue Jeans quit unexpectedly.
And you've frozen again.
Is everyone else having a great morning?
Yeah. It's
Well,
Friday.
it was.
It's Friday.
Can I make a suggestion that that one of you guys take over doing the actual sharing because this has happened consistently enough with my home internet, and I really didn't want to do this remotely today. I got held up.
Yeah,
Mr.
it's,
Kaufman, do you mind taking over the screen share for me? Because otherwise this is just going to be a disaster.
Be his hands.
tell me where to go. Hold on, let me-
Yeah, I mean, I was just showing off the category page, but I think you could just as easily switch to your documentation demonstration, and then
Oh, okay.
if you want to go to the releases tab and start there, then we'll just continue to go down the list of the 3.0 changes.
Yeah. Yeah, like Zetland said, major changes, hooks that we've introduced. Documentation wise, we can now publish reference documentation. We've also updated, isn't this loading? We updated our overview of the Peregrine library to fit our current vision as a team on what Peregrine is and you know basically the roadmap. So we have reference documentation here for the hooks that we introduced. You can click through this. We got API reference. We have some code samples included. This is all auto-generated from JS docs in the source code itself. What else? We updated the overview page for with the infographics I created. This is under overview technologies. Tools and library has been updated with the other infographic. We've updated this table to add additional technologies that we're mentioning in this image. What else? I guess I could show what I've been working on, which is a code samples repository. Basically, what it's going to be is just smaller bite-sized examples of our PWA Studio library components and hooks, and we're going to service them in our docs using Code Sandbox. So this is just my local instance, but this is essentially what's going to look like, and you can have code here. If you've ever used Code Sandbox, you can embed them, and you can actually have a running instance of this code repository application, and you can just start playing around with the code itself.
I didn't know you added this. This is so cool.
I mean, it's still in development. It's part of that code repository issue that I'm working on.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so this, as it uses the use search param from the actual library and not part of the project, and you can play around with it. And you can open it in its own standalone editor and explore the rest of the application. Right now, all I have is mask. Play around with that and use search param. But I'll be filling this out, as we make these components available. The only caveat is that we'll only be using components that are released in NPM. It won't be what's in developed. It'll be what's available to the public through NPM. So I think that's all for my update for docs. So stay tuned for that. Any questions? Who is next to?
I think that was Tommy with release.
Tommy, you got anything?
No. I was just reminding Zetlin that that was on the agenda. Trying to think. The release itself was like kind of small. It was just the first Peregrine hook. Lots of bug fixes. Anything else kind of in the release notes? I think kind of just throughout these updates, we kind of covered things along the way.
A lot of bug fixes, yeah, and yeah, the next release would probably have a little more stuff in there. But yeah, if you're curious to see what all is in, you check out the release page, see what's in there. Anything else?
Well, the shutdown next week, so we won't have the community sync meeting next Friday because the Adobe US offices are shut down for the week of 4th of July.
Yes. We won't be here.
Yeah, along those lines, we were talking about if you pull like the latest, and you might run into build errors and things like that. I know a few people have run into that already this morning. So they show up as like warnings, and Steven, I think you pointed this out, that they show up in yellow as like a warning, like a recommended change, but some of those you actually do have to change to get it to work. So just keep an eye on your output when you're building if you're running into errors. And that should guide you as to how to fix them.
Anybody else? Have you got anything?
Never mind.
Got it.
Yeah.
I guess we can end this. Oh, there's no other agenda items or anything.
I actually got a question. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. I was playing around with the categories, and I figured out that the filters are not actually working. And I talked to Adrian, who was probably the contributor who created the filters, and he said that the GraphQL queries weren't able to give back the filtered data. So I was wondering, what is the status on the filters actually working?
Anybody know?
What's that? What was the question? Sorry.
Whether the filters are working.
So,
Oh,
yeah, so basically Adrian told me that the React code is working correctly, but the GraphQL endpoint is not working to actually give back the filtered results on a category page. So
Correct.
the question is like, what is the status on that subject or that issue?
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know either.
All right.
We definitely, service it to them, and they know about it, but I just don't know the actual status of their in their project. I mean.
Cool.
So Dave was just saying we need to check with the GraphQL team in order to get more accurate status on that. And unfortunately, we don't have any representatives from there on this call, but we'll follow up.
All right. Thank you.
So if no one else has anything, I think we can give people time back.
Yeah.
Yes?
All right.
Yes, apologies that this was less than exciting. It's kind of a slow week here for us, and we're just focused on getting to the release that happened, and so we'll regroup week after next, and hopefully we'll have some more updates to share.
It's going to be pretty quiet that week, too.
Yeah.
For a while. I think a lot of people are going to be out. So.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us, Jordan, and whoever else is on the call, and hope you have a good next week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Sure. See ya.
Bye.